welcome back to the shop. It's been a long time since I made a YouTube video. I tried making this the other day, but I kind of messed up and I filmed with my phone upright instead of sideways. So there's a chance you'll see some of that time lapse because I did my first video of pulling the motor on my 4runner because, well, sadly it blew the head gaskets. So gonna be pulling this motor apart and going through it, making sure that it's gonna be good for years to come because, well, this is my daily driver. So want to make sure that she's gonna be good and reliable like Toyota should be. So gonna get this thing torn down today so I can get the heads off to my buddy, so that way he can get them sent off for me. But check out my 4runner here quick. This thing is, to me, the perfect daily driver. 94 SR5 5-speed, has 140,000 miles on it. I got it with 130. So at least I got to put almost 10,000 miles. Well, no, I only put about 6,000 or 7,000 miles on it. But she's pretty clean, well, to say the least, as far as how these old 4runners go. Some goofy body work that the kid I got it from tried doing, but that is what it is. I only care about the frame on this thing, so yeah, you know, it's got its typical little rust here and there, but this thing ain't bad at all. Very solid for a daily driver, and I want to keep this thing for a long time, so plan is to go through her and make sure she's all good to go. So we're going to get this engine torn down today, but first you're probably going to see a bit of the time lapse of me pulling it out. So making some great progress here on the old V6. Basically everything left is underneath, so I will catch back up to you once I got a chain hooked up to her and we're yanking her out. So and one good night of work and we got a motor out of the 4runner, so just gonna let her hang here overnight, get her on a stand tomorrow, tear her down tomorrow night into Sunday, hopefully get these heads off to a machine shop, get them machined, get them nice and flat, and hopefully within the next 2 weeks have this thing all back together. That's my plan, that's my goal. 3 weeks at the most. But man, she sure is a greasy booger. These back cam covers are just pouring basically. Hard to tell if the rear main's actually leaking, but gonna go through and do it anyway. Clutch honestly doesn't look like it's in too bad a shape, but I'll pull the disc off it tomorrow and decide if that's getting it, but yeah. What a dirty bugger. Makes for such an annoying job to pull an engine, but oh well, what do you do? Gonna get her all cleaned up. Get her all cleaned up, re-gasket it, get this thing back in here, and I'll have my daily back. Finally. I can't wait to have my daily back, so that's where I'm ending it for tonight. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Gonna get this on a stand and start tearing her down, so. Yeah, that is a telltale sign of a blown head gasket. Oh, pure milkshake. Yummy. Oh man. Poor 4runner. Well, get to tearing her down here. Making some quick progress on getting this torn down here. Just a couple hours. All ready to get the heads off, and I realized I do not have a 12 mil 12 point. So gonna have to buy one of them quick. Also have to get a magnet so I get the buckets out. I just quite can't get them, and I don't have, well, can't find a magnet to pull them out of there. So I'll go buy one, that way I know it's good and clean, get the buckets out of there, and we'll get these heads off. But my little parts table sure did fill up quick. I definitely wanted to have a bigger table, but oh well, getting the job done, everything's out of the way at least. So we'll have these heads off here in a little bit. Got our cheap Master Force 12 point set, so can now get my head bolts taken out. Also, forgot to buy a darn magnet to take the buckets out, but oh well, I'll figure out how to get those out. I'll probably just struggle with my fingers. They're just a little bit slippery, but get these heads off here in the next couple minutes, and I think I'll be ready to go, get her all cleaned up. And just like that, we got ourselves a short block on a stand. So didn't really find any obvious head gasket blown. The corner of the head gasket that was around cylinder number 2 there, I believe that's cylinder number 2. Oh hey, actually, is that marked? Maybe not. I believe that was cylinder 2. I think it goes 2, 4, 6, 1, 1, 3, 5. I don't really know. I can't remember. I deal too many engines to keep this shit in order. But it did look like there was a damaged spot in the head gasket there. Threw them both on top of each other. But you can see that part right there where the ring around the head gasket is completely lifted, unlike the rest of it. So I'm going to assume that was my failure point on these gaskets. Hard to say if these are original. They don't really, the way they're made, they don't look original, but I don't know. I don't really doubt it. But we'll see. I got factory Toyota head gaskets coming in the mail this week, hopefully. So I'll get this all cleaned up, get these cylinder heads off to machining and get them all resurfaced. That way we don't got to worry about any warped surfaces, and get this thing thrown back together and back in the old runner here in the next couple weeks. So, well, I definitely went a little overboard on cleaning the old block up, but there is no grime, no grease. It's sludge free. It's completely clean. Compared to how it was, oh my God. That makes me so happy. This thing was a greasy mess. Still gonna have to take care of the inside of here. The bell housing there is kind of just a resemblance of how bad the engine was, along with everything here. But I mean, this is kind of self-undercoated, so it's kind of hard to clean up. But sadly, I probably will. So, well, I think that's probably where I'm going to leave off for this one. Probably catch up and we'll be putting this back together. Hopefully I'll be taking the oil pan off, resealing that, cleaning this thing up. So plenty of work to do, so stay tuned for it. Hopefully I have another video up here in a couple days.